Hi, Ben here with Amtex Equipment. Next to me, it is the latest version of the stack design, which this one is the 3047, which is a 30 horsepower, powering a 47 blower with over 528 CFM. Now, as you know, this system has been around for almost 2 years. It's been sold in the market with different horsepower from 20 all the way up to 30 horsepower, the greatest track record we ever had as far as any machine with a heat exchanger system. After all, it is the system of the Inferno, which has been remodified for you to be able to have a 90-gallon freshwater tank underneath. Now, as far as the features on these are very explanatory, just like the older design. You do have your chemical meter starting from the left, your chemical meter, which is connected to the injector on the top at the head of the pump. It is located at the far left. Right next to it, it is a pressure regulator that you'll be able to adjust the pressure anywhere from 100 to 2,500 psi. On a 30 horsepower version, you do get multi-outlet as far as the pressure outlet, which you do have a couple of them here. And of course, you do have the main one to the right side. Now, either one of these you could be used. That means this system can be used by one technician all the way up to 3 technicians. Now, there is 2 water inlet on this system, if you notice. The one to the left, if you notice, has been designated as a freshwater fill-up. In other words, in order to fill up your tank underneath, that 90-gallon freshwater tank underneath, you simply connect the garden hose here and it fills it up. Now, what you need to do when you install this system, you want to make sure that you drill a 1-inch hole through the floor of your van to run this hose, which basically takes care of any kind of overflow. That way, in case if you forget to shut off the water, at least the water can run beneath your vehicle without flooding the inside of the vehicle and causing wetness. So to the right side again, there is another water inlet. Now this one, it is when you're going to be giving water directly to the system by a garden hose. That means you're not using your freshwater tank. You're simply going to go ahead and connect it to the water supply from the building or the house you're doing. Now, either way, if you use the freshwater tank, which is controlled by a toggle switch here, which powers a 12 DC pump, almost about 5 gallons per minute, going to the left side of the machine, that pump fills out an expansion tank of almost 2 gallons. That means what it is, this expansion tank has been around, we've been testing it, has a great track record. Inside of this tank, there is a bladder, which outside of that bladder, there is air pressure. And once the pump runs, it fills up the bladder filled with water. But because there is air pressure outside of the bladder, inside of the tank, your 12 DC pump does not have to run all the time, unless if you completely use all the water inside of the tank, which is, in that moment, the pressure drops and allows the 12 DC pump to start filling it up for your next section of the room or the cleaning you're going to do. Now, as far as the plumbing system, it doesn't matter if you use the freshwater tank or if you use the garden hose. All the water has to travel. It goes through 2 different check valves, which are set up backwards. In other words, if you give it water from the garden hose, there is no way for you to accidentally fill the tank with water or damage your 12 DC pump with the back pressure, because these 2 check valves, they only allow one-way movement of the water. In other words, if you give water to the machine from the water inlet in the front, water travels through here, through the check valve. It can't go that way. It's going to have to go through the pressure switches to get measured, get regulated to a certain PSI for the pump to be able to inject chemical, of course, into the pump. Now, let's say you're going to be getting water from the freshwater tank. Very good, great. Water comes in, goes through a check valve, but it cannot go and pour out inside of your vehicle. Again, it has to go through the same route up the hill into the pump to pressurize it. Now, this system is designed to be sent to a company called Bright Steamers in San Francisco Bay, which we're very proud to build our system. And what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and cut the story short here and pretty much show you how to operate it. That way we don't run out of time, because there's so much of video we can post on the internet. Now, as far as the running this system, if we come to the machine, what we decided to do, we decided to use this freshwater tank. As you notice, the 3047 is a dual action. If you notice to the right, we have 2 vacuum inlet, and we have 2 pressure outlet to the left side. Now, however, you can always disconnect this from here and connect it here. It does not matter, because you are dealing with the same circuit of plumbing. I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way here and connect it here. Now, as far as turning it on, when you turn the key on, this is your toggle switch. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Toggle switch that powers the 12 DC pump in the back. As you turn the key on, you should have 2 lights coming on. The reason our green light is on because the machine has run prior to our startup for about 90 seconds for us to be able to heat up the system, for you to be able to see its heat production. However, in order to keep the machine running, you have to have some type of sort of water coming in. So since we're not giving water from the garden hose, and we're going to use our freshwater pump, which is simply going to go ahead and turn the pump on. If you notice, you can hear it, and if you notice, it's going to stop working in a few seconds. That means he has filled the the expansion tank on the left. Now, one of the areas that you need to take a look at is inside of the tank. Just like our other unit, you want to have a small amount of water coming in from the front end, so that way you allowing your high pressure pump hyper on the top and your pressure regulator to remain cool. It doesn't matter what kind of mistake you're making running the system. Now, as far as running it, of course, after checking your oil level, which your engine oil level is right here, and your pump oil level is very visible. You can see it through that little glass. However, you can always use a dipstick, pull it out, and make sure that you have water, you have oil in the back. Your filtration box is inside of this box. Of course, right now it's clean, but I would recommend once every week, kind of loosen the union here, remove this whole top section, which comes out with a filter attached to it, rinse it, clean it, and put it back. Now, if you notice at the bottom right here, we do have a plug. What this is, in case if you want to do a cleanup of the inside of this cab, you don't need to use any kind of towel and soak in and wipe it clean. You can simply wash it by opening this plug. You'll be able to drain all the gray and dirty water out. Now let's go and start the system, show you how to start it. Again, like I said, we have to have some kind of water source on, so what we did, we went ahead and turned our auxiliary pump on. Our keys in on position, we're going to push the throttle and the choke all the way to the right. From the right position, we're going to increase our throttle, which is the straight handle, about 3/4 inch to the left. We're going to move the choke all the way to the left, and as we're cranking, we open the choke. Take a look. There we go. It's a very smooth running, quiet machine for any kind of cleaning. Let's say carpet, tile and grout, water extraction. Try to run the machine anywhere from 3,000 to 3,100. But if you ever want to do furniture cleaning, because remember, Infernos, faster you run them, harder they get. So to do a furniture cleaning, I highly recommend, especially with a 30 horsepower, do set up the RPM around 2,200 to 2,400 max. Because when you're cleaning furniture, you lose track of time. You're going to be not wasting, but using a lot of time doing the spot treatments of the pillows or the fabrics or the body of the couch or the love seat. You might lose track of time. So the machine heat production is keep rising. But by running it slower, you're kind of delaying this heat production, and also with much moderate type of suction, so you will not cause any damages on your customer's furniture. What we're going to do, we're going to stop right here. We're going to go ahead and switch the cameraman, and we'll go ahead and show you his power of it as far as dual action. So I'll see you in a few seconds in the next section of the video. Thank you.